Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have a little bit of a late night drama filled video over here where I kind of feel a little bit bad going on. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, God of War Ragnarok literally just came out, and now we're seeing some kind of call outs. It's not like the biggest, juiciest drama, but it's one of those things where it's like, man, I kind of feel bad when it comes to it too. So I want to give my own like personal little props and attention, and maybe everyone in the community itself can also take a moment here to appreciate some of these folks out there that do a very good job when it comes to making some awesome Sony PlayStation games. So to talk about this, talk about the story, and at least it is kind of a somewhat wholesome story too as well at the end of the day. So to go talk about that. So a lot of things to go talk about, a lot of little random side stories too as well, a little bit of gaming drama too, and just a little Sunday night video to go and talk about as we're getting into the good little Black Friday week soon. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new $500 PlayStation 5 or Xbox giveaway. Get to go pick and choose. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you just want the bonus entries. We do also have the Target links and Amazon sign up links too. Check those on out, and let's dive into the video. So as I'm sure you guys have heard, God of War Ragnarok is a game. I would hope most of you guys that are watching my channel know that, because that is kind of a big game that came out this past week or so. And with God of War, there was some kind of big issues. And now we have some of the devs out here kind of calling out the game studio itself and being somewhat sad that they didn't get able to get the credit that they actually went and deserved. So let's go talk about this and give you guys some context, because this lovely person over here, Jessica Mao, who is actually working over here for music production intern for Sony Santa Monica Studio, aka God of War Ragnarok as well. So this was apparently a 24-year-old composer, pianist, and milk tea enthusiast over here, where they say this: better get this out before Twitter dies. I am so happy to see so many folks enjoying God of War Ragnarok. I worked on the editing and arrangement and implementation of the Freya chase scene and his Thor boss fight music. You can hear a little bit of each in each scene's music from this video over here. As you guys might have a chance to go and see. Might be a little bit quiet though as I pull it up for you guys. I want to bump it up a little bit more for audio wise. But basically, it's just, as you guys can tell, it's just like the usual scenes and scorns over here for the game itself. So basically, just like you can see the cutscenes that they're actually included on over here in this scene, and also the other various Thor scene too. So they had a chance to work on this. They had some sound implementation, and if you guys have actually had a chance to play the game, and this is like a very not even big spoiler because it's in the first like hour of the game or so. When it comes to this one, this is like stuff that they actually had a chance to do. So I want to give a quick shout out over here to Thor's fight, because that was a fun exercise in music arranging. The original mix was too fully orchestrated and had to be toned down to make room to grow in later phases. So they made a new stems using different combinations of the original stems. So basically, as they were doing all this music and making like their God of War music pretty nice, they just did a lot of stuff. They try to make the game look good, vibe good, and also have that music sense. And if you guys have played God of War, played almost any video game, even ever watched a movie, TV show, whatever, music is probably one of the most important things in the game itself, because it kind of sets the tone, it sets the pacing, it sets the vibe, and everything in between is like, you kind of need it. Like, if you don't have a good soundtrack for a lot of your games, sometimes it just ends up being an awful game. So said in some ways that it felt worked best musically, the stem I'm proudest of is the one where I removed all instruments and left just the percussions and vocals. Here that basically the clip too as well, under the combat sounds too, and sometimes less is more. So basically just in case you guys are curious in the sounds. But the one big thing that's kind of the heartbreaking thing to know is this tweet right here, where it says, unfortunately, my name is not in the credits, and apparently it can't be added now in the future in a patch update. I was told that to be credited, my contribution to the game must hit some minimum criteria, hence my tweet from Monday, so not sure what this criteria could be. And it's kind of heartbreaking to see this, because it's like, even if you're an intern or not, I'm assuming they were an intern, because they said music production intern, you know, it's Sony Santa Monica Studio, and like, even if you didn't do the most craziest amount of things, I still feel like they kind of deserve credit. And now they're kind of calling out PlayStation. They're kind of, like, it's almost like a passive call out, where it's like, hey, you know, I'm just proud of my work. I don't want, like, it's not like rude or not being mean or trying to bring like negative attention or whatever it might be. They're just trying to be like, hey, I worked on this. I'm proud of this. Maybe future jobs or applications or whatever, maybe they'll love all the work I did or can appreciate what the effort I put into it. Or maybe the fans or whoever it may be. And I think it's like not a bad call out, because it's just trying to get credit where credit is due. And I kind of wish I knew this, because it does seem like it is harder to add this on the post-game credit. So basically, this was an incredibly disappointing and discouraging for me to learn, and I'd hate for anyone else to have to go through it. So game devs, please credit everyone who who participates in the development of a game. It only makes sense. Have a beautiful day. So it's very intriguing to go and note this because, well, they just want to have some credit, and I think there's nothing wrong with that at the end of the day, like especially if you worked on it. So some of the comments you can even see over here from Modern Vintage saying, of course, it'd be updated in a patch. That's a convenient excuse. I'm tired of people not getting credit in video games too as well. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really seem like it'd be that hard to do. Now, another random comment, I'm not sure how true it is, says, I've seen games that explicitly use video files as the credits, so they have to re-render them anytime they want to add a single name in, and that pushes a 5 GB update for users to do it. And I can maybe see it as well if that is how they did it, being a potential issue. But I feel bad because this is someone who worked on the game, and I'm not sure how or the best way to have it done on in, maybe on the website, maybe whatever it might be, but it does kind of stink because it seems like they don't get the actual attention and credit that they actually have a chance to deserve. And they've had a few news articles, my own self include over here now, saying they got a God of War Ragnarok dev accused and not creating music production intern, senior audio technical designer to investigate. So they had this over here saying, as we kind of showed you guys, the musical production intern who worked on the God of War Ragnarok says she's feeling incredibly disappointed and discouraged after she wasn't credited for her work on the PS5 and PS4 exclusive game. Writing on Twitter, composer Jessica Mao revealed that she contributed to the editing, arrangement, and implementation of the score during the Freya chase and Thor boss fight sequence as well. However, despite sharing specific examples on her efforts and thoroughly explaining her approach for them, she admitted that her name was not included in the credits for apparently it just can't be added during a patch update, which I still think they probably could work it on in. I can understand though how it might be harder to do in the general sense, but man, that's kind of sad. So she continued saying, I was told that to be credited, it must have been a minimum criteria, which I still, if you guys have been in the game design world or whatever, let me know like what that kind of means. Like what do you guys think she needs to have for that on top of that? So basically, to be fair, the Sony Santa Monica studio though, audio technical designer Shane Lavelle was thankfully quick to respond saying, I'm very sorry to hear about this, Jessica, and I fully agree everyone who contributed to a project should be credited. It may be indeed be too late, but I will definitely go and ask about this. So I'm in the same boat as the article. Like I say, so hopefully there's a happy resolution here, or at the very least some very important lessons, and I would love to see this. I'm not sure if it's hard to do, I'm not sure if it's even physically possible, because it does seem like there is a little bit of a pushback towards it, but even like at the end of the day, hopefully this Jessica Mao can go and appreciate the fact of someone like, you know, making news articles and videos and kind of giving credit, or as well just the Twitter clout, because it has like 1,200 favorites, you know, a lot of folks kind of supporting her, and I mean, who knows, maybe this actually might get them like another job in the future, you never know at the end of the day. But it's cool to see. Like, I think it's almost deserved. I think it's nice. And God of War, so far as I've played it, has been a very, very good, phenomenal game. A game way better than expected, and a game that's very, very sound and good. So the fact that she was a part of this, and probably one of the more impactful initials, like the first 2 hours of the game, where a lot of folks were like, this is cool, this is sick, you got to give them some credit where credit's due. So you want to what major credit to you, Jessica Mao. You may not be in the game, but at least you get to be in a random, weird, scrubbing YouTube video at the end of the day. So give me your thoughts and comments down below, because it's like not the biggest call out or the biggest drama, but it has kind of been flown around a little bit in the gaming universe. Now, for other things to kind of go talk about too as well, we also did have a pretty big leak too, funny enough, where the co-creator over here of Mortal Kombat and Injustice is also literally going insane too, that they actually might go have a Mortal Kombat 12 coming up in the very near future too as well, or some other various games too on top of that. So very, very nifty to go and see how some folks got the kind of the easiest answer known to man for when it does come with games coming out soon. So that's either going to be Injustice 3, which, you know, a lot of folks in like Injustice 1, they just did a PlayStation Plus for it, or like I said, a Mortal Kombat. Kind of lean towards Mortal Kombat because that last one basically felt like a movie as we were watching it and playing it. It's actually all around pretty good, so cool to see with that. Although we had a little bit more gaming drama too, or Multiverse. As you guys remember, that game that popped up for a while apparently is even worse now. Because Season 2 apparently takes way longer to have all the experience to complete as Season 1. So it's almost like double as long as it takes. And even my own self didn't really go and finish up the Battle Pass. I played the game a decent amount too and streamed on Twitch a lot too as well. So kind of crazy to go and see with the next second season having a lot more drama and folks to kind of comment this out too as well. Because like people want to play games and unlock stuff, but Battle Passes kind of keep things pretty hard and pretty under wraps. Never fun to see. And last but not least, another brand new VR game with Better Than Life with the Kayak VR has been making some rounds over here, where a lot of folks are basically saying, hey, is this going to be on the PlayStation VR 2? And so far, it does seem like, yes, one of the most impactful, crazy kayaking games known to man will be coming out here on the PlayStation VR very, very soon. So kind of fun to see more games coming out in VR. I can't wait to go get mine myself. I'm kind of still teetering if I want to get one or not. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, with a Twitter and Twitch stream down below for the bonus entries, Target links down below for the signups, and Amazon links too as well for all the consoles, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.